Hello, YouTube. I'm first going to apologize for my audio, which is not the best. I don't really have a recording studio or anything like that. This is just me with a microphone speaking my thoughts. My thoughts on the 2016 election. Donald J. Trump was elected. He's going to be president of the United States of America. This is something that's surprising to me, but at the same time, not really surprising. I mean, if you look at trends, things have gone back and forth between Republican and Democrat every years, be 8 years of one party, then 8 years of another. It just makes sense that the Republican Party would come to power on this cycle, but at the same time, that was part of the status quo. There was always politicians, one side gets power, makes changes, and then the next side waits until it's their turn. They come up, they change things back to the way they want it, or change it further. But Donald Trump isn't a politician, or at least he wasn't until now. He lacked political experience beside what he gained on the campaign trail, and he kind of stood against both parties in ways that we haven't seen before. I haven't seen before. And for a lot of people, this is ushering in an era of uncertainty, fear. A lot of people are afraid. For me, this election was marked by fear, plagued by fear. People were voting not because they were optimistic, not because they wanted to see things happen. They voted because they didn't want to see certain things happen. They wanted to avoid certain outcomes. People were afraid of each other. I was listening to some of the other YouTubers' response to the election, and one that stood out to me was John Green's. I'll put a link in the description. The thing that stood out the most to me, aside from the ending, which was a note of being hopeful and unity and everything, was the beginning of his video where he discusses echo chambers and how he was uncomfortable with the idea that it was as inconceivable for him that somebody would vote for Donald Trump as it was for many Trump supporters that he would vote for Hillary Clinton. And that right there, that huge divide, is what I think, rooted in fear, has caused this election to be so different. Stephen Colbert, when he was signing off of the election coverage, mentioned how divided this election has made our nation. And I think it's to be said that this is not the norm. I don't remember things being this polarized during the election between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, or the election before that with Barack Obama and John McCain, or even before that with George W. Bush and Jim Carrey. I don't remember elections being so full of fear and hate. I'm not afraid. I am concerned. I think the world is looking at us, and they are concerned as well. Some of them are afraid. I think the biggest thing for all of us, though, whether you're conservative or liberal, Republican, Democrat, left, right, red, blue, all these divides that in labels we put on ourselves that separate us. I think the biggest thing is to realize that we're all human, that we're all people, that we're all alive. In the nation of America, we're all Americans, that we need to stop looking at ourselves as different. Man, woman, gay, straight, all these differences, these divides. It's something that concerns me. And I think we will be better if we stop looking at ourselves as us, them. If we reach out of our echo chambers and listen to what others are saying, not just taking the straw man sort of characterizations of others and assuming those are true. I think that America, the world, will be a better place if we stand to be a little bit more open-minded, not accept ourselves as the absolute fact. I think this election is something to be learned from, and I think it's a turning point. For better or worse, things will come and go, but I think it just shows how dangerous it is when you stop caring about what other people say and just believe them to be wrong or evil, because they're thinking the exact same thing about you. And so, as we move forwards into 2017 and the years to come, I think we should just keep in mind that everything that we could be feeling about somebody else, they could be having those exact same feelings about us. And that everybody exists in the same world, yet their own worlds are separate. Just because I feel something doesn't mean somebody else does. That doesn't make anything right or wrong in that regard. We have to recognize that we are all people. We all have thoughts, desires, goals, dreams. That I don't know where I'm going with this. It's a lot of philosophy for inventing, and I'm just not really sure. I didn't expect this. I expected the status quo. Politician is elected. Hillary Clinton would be elected, and it would just be the same old. Whether or not that'd be good or bad, that's not what I'm here to discuss, but I just think it's everybody's surprised, and we should meet that surprise and that shock and that devastation and that uncertainty as a unified people, and prove that just because things don't go the way we predicted them, America, humans are adaptable, and we will persevere. But that's going to be it for me on this first video on YouTube. Hopefully I'll talk about something that's a little bit more positive in the next video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.